Hey guys, and welcome to my channel. I'm Corinne, and today I'm going to be showing you how to get this really nice, soft, everyday smoky eye. So if you'd like to see how I got this look, then just keep on watching, and of course, don't forget to subscribe. Okay, so we're going to start off with priming the eyes. I'm going to use the Tarte Shape Tape in the color Fair Neutral. I'm just going to put that all over the eye. Make sure it's all blended out. And I'm just using my beauty blender to just pounce that into the skin. All the way up to the brow. You want to make sure you get in that inner corner really well. And then pull it all the way out. Because if you're going to have color out there, you want to make sure that's primed as well. Okay, so now I'm going to take the Modern Renaissance palette from Anastasia. And I'm just going to set that with Tempera. And you want to make sure you set it all over. So I'm going to start with the Jaclyn palette. I love this palette. It's my favorite, especially for everyday. It's amazing. So I'm going to start with Silk Cream. You just want to get a little on your brush, tap it off, and then start on the outer corner and pull in. You want the most color deposited on the outer corner. So outer corner, pull in, and I'm doing little buffing motions, swiping windshield wiper motions. You just want to give dimension to the eye. So again, taking more product, you want to build up. You don't want to start out with too much because it's easier to add than to take away. And my eyes are a little more rounded, so I like to pull it out a little bit more so that it gives the effect of a more almond shape, which if you have an almond eye, it's going to be super easy to achieve this. So again, grabbing more product, building it up. And as soon as it's where you want it, tapered blending brush, it's perfect. It applies just the right amount of product without it being too much. And it's nice and soft. Some brushes like poke your eye, which drives me nuts. This one's nice. Okay, so I'm gonna grab a little bit more and pull it in a little bit more because we want this smoky. So we're going to be pulling those darker colors smoked out on the lash line. So you want to have something to blend it into. And I don't like my skin to move that much when I'm blending. Because, you know, we don't want to add more wrinkles than we need to. So I just lightly like hold my skin. I'm not pulling it or anything like that. I just hold it. Makes me feel better. Okay, so So going back to that other brush with that tempera shade, or tempera, however you say it, and just making sure we have no harsh lines. Same thing, other side. We want this nicely blended. And I like to start with my eyes, especially with like a smokier eye, just in case there is fallout. Some of the more pigmented shadows have more fallout. I'm gonna build this up a little bit more and add a little bit more product. Okay, so now I'm gonna take Pukey, which I love, very warm, very pretty color, and just start pulling that in. You don't want to pull it out as much as you did the other color. You want it more like right on that little crease in your eye. You just want to tap this color. Tap it where you want the most and pull it in. You want to pull it in more than you want to pull it out because you want the most color in your eye. Not in your eye, but you know what I mean. So once you have that, take a little bit more of that silk cream and just blend that out. Again, we want no harsh line. Moving. If you stop, it kind of gets, if your hand isn't constantly moving, you're gonna get like harsh lines. It's easier if you keep moving the brush to avoid that. So I pulled it up a tiny bit, but not much. And I'm just gonna slowly build that color up. Again, from here over. You don't want to pull this color out too much. But you do want to blend into those other colors. Oh, sorry, that was buns. Now we're going into chip. Sorry about that. So now this is chip. Teeny tiny bit. Same thing. You're gonna want to start a little bit lower. Just stay right at that lash line. And I'm gonna apply it with this brush, and then I'm gonna switch brushes. I'm gonna switch to this. This is the Morphe M506. Now you have to be careful with this brush. It is a little stiff, but I do like it. So applying that color right on the lash line. It's gonna go up a little bit. And then I'm gonna go back to Silk Cream, put it back on this MAC 221 brush that we're using for the darker color, and blend this together. Just in case. It got up a little higher than I wanted it. So now, I'm going to take a flat shader brush. This is the Sigma Flat Definer E15. And I'm gonna mix chip and, what is it? Soda Pop. It's like the darkest brown before the black. And I'm gonna place that right on my lash line. Teeny tiny bit of both because they are super pigmented again. And you're just defining. And if you look down into your mirror, it's always easier to see what you're doing. And this again is an everyday smoky, so you can build it up, you can leave it like this, pretty much whatever you want. But since this is my everyday, I'm just gonna leave it. I'm not gonna get it too dark because I want it still wearable but a little bit smoky. Okay, so now I'm using the Monsieur Big mascara from Lancôme. This mascara is amazing. If you don't have it, you definitely need it. This is a little baby trial size, but I need it. And then I'm gonna take on a shader brush, I'm gonna go back into that tempera, what we set our eyes with, and just pop that so we gain a little bit of brightness right in that inner corner. Moisturized, did my eye cream. So now I'm just gonna do a hydrating primer and I'm gonna press it into the skin. You always wanna press your products into the skin because if you just, you're pretty much wiping them away. So you wanna press them into the skin, you're gonna get the most out of your products. Okay, so now that that's done, I'm gonna start with my face. So I'm going to use the Fit Me Matte and Poreless. It's pretty amazing, but I'm going to mix it with the MAC Face and Body. This is in C1. So I'm just going to pounce that into my skin. So now we're gonna do concealer. And I like to mix the Tarte Shape Tape, again, same one I used earlier, with the Instant Age Rewind by Maybelline. Yeah, just because I tend to be very dry underneath the eyes. So I only put like 2 dots of this, very lightly. And then I put a dot of the Maybelline because this Tarte Shape Tape is very drying. I wish I could handle it because it is amazing, but I can't. So I'm gonna use the same end of the Beauty Blender just because I don't want it too bright because it is, again, an everyday. I'm trying not to highlight all crazy and I want to feel natural. And then just use whatever is left over to go down the center of the face to brighten a little bit. And the smile lines. Now I'm going to take that little Morphe brush and we're gonna kind of mimic what we did on the top lash line. So starting with Silk Cream, going underneath the eye, you're gonna buff that in. Again, I like to make my eyes look more almond. They are a little more rounded almond, so I just stay on the outer corner. Buff that in like that. Then I'm gonna go into buns. Just take the teeny tiniest little amount on the lower lash line, sticking even further to the outer corner. Again, if you want to make this more smoky, you can pull all the way in. You can do whatever you want. Then I'm just going to take a tiny bit of chip right into that lash line and just smush it all in there. And I just kind of go back and forth with it just to blend it, because you don't want a harsh line. And then back into this, take a little silk cream and blend it out. I like to use this little mirror. It has a magnifier on it. Okay. So now I'm gonna take the shader brush with a little bit of that tempera, put that on the inner corner. Just to give us a little bit more brightness. Now we're going to bronze up the face. So I'm taking the Bobbi Brown Golden Light. And I'm gonna kind of contour bronze, just because this is everyday. So I just want to lightly contour the skin. I like to put a little bit on my nose, give me that sun-kissed bronze by the temples. And this is the MAC 135 brush. I like this brush a lot. And then I like to go a little bit underneath my chin. Okay, so then to add a little bit more contour, I go in with the Benefit Hoola with the little brush that it comes with. I love it. Okay, so now that the brows are done, we're gonna move on to a little bit of blush. I'm going to use the Sigma Powder Blush F10 brush just to give me a little bit of color. I'm going to use the Tarte Amazonian Clay 12-Hour Plush Blush in Paaarty. And this is pretty pigmented, so I just tap a tiny bit on my brush. I kind of like smile so I could see where I want it to go. Take a little bit of the Next to Nothing powder from MAC. Even though I am dry, I do like to set a teeny tiny bit. So I'm just gonna put it in the center of my face. Just on a big Sigma large powder F30 brush. Okay. Now for highlight, which is my favorite part, I'm going to take the Becca Champagne Pop on that same brush. I just like to use the other side. And just pounce it into the skin. I don't like to do a lot for every day. Put a little bit on the temples, Little chin, little nose. I don't like to put it on the tip of my nose. I don't like to accentuate that at all. So for lips, I got some new Anastasia liquid lipsticks, and I think I'm gonna try Stripped. I think I will add a little bit of Crush just to see what it looks like, because that is a little more. So this is the finished look. I hope you all enjoyed. Please don't forget to subscribe, and I will see you in my next video.